Dozens of Springfield workers will soon be unable to see doctors at Baystate Medical Center due to a dispute with Wellpoint Insurance.
Western Mass News reporter Reagan Lokri spoke with one anonymous Wellpoint member who shares her concerns after finding out she needs a new doctor.
2,500 of us in Springfield alone would not be able to use Baystate.
Concerned viewers have reached out to our newsroom after finding out Wellpoint Insurance will no longer allow members to utilize Baystate. Western Mass News spoke anonymously with an employee at Springfield Public Schools who tells us many Springfield teachers, as well as thousands of other Springfield employees, have Wellpoint for their health insurance provider and utilize Baystate as their primary care.
A little more troubling is Wellpoint is saying, we'll help you find new doctors. Respectfully, there are none. And that's not to say anything against doctors. It's since the pandemic, there's been a shortage in all areas, including the medical field. There are more patients than there are medical professionals to see us.
Western Mass News reached out to Wellpoint for comment, and they tell us in a statement, we continue to work closely with Baystate Health to reach an agreement that protects our members' access to affordable care with Baystate providers. We remain optimistic that an agreement can be reached before January 1st. The concerned viewer we spoke to tells us that she, as well as other SPS employees, have seen their providers for years and have become comfortable with them. And now she's concerned for those she works with who have severe health issues, since they may have a long wait to get in to see their doctor.
Who do you get in less than 3 weeks to be your new doctor? And when you get that new doctor, it takes you upwards of, on average, from what I'm seeing online, 3 months to be able to see this doctor.
Reporting for Western Mass News, I'm Reagan Lokri.
Western Mass News also reached out to Baystate for comment. They tell us in part, for 8 months now, Baystate Health has been working to reach a new agreement with Wellpoint that puts patients first and protects access to essential care and services in Western Massachusetts. We're committed to reaching a solution that avoids disruption to Wellpoint members and the care they receive at Baystate Health and its affiliated physicians.